Joinery Limited for sponsoring today's show.
Hi Sam.
Hi.
Welcome to Brave Pants. I am here to just have a little chat with you really, just to find out more about you, the real Sam Kerr, about your football career, and today what I'd really love to chat to you more about is where you started. Where did it all start? Where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Falkirk, a small town in Scotland. I've lived there all my life until obviously I moved away for football. So yeah, I grew up in Falkirk, went to school there, had all my friends there, all my family still lived there. And then at 16 I actually moved to Edinburgh for 4 years, and that was for university and the National Performance Academy.
Oh, amazing. What were you doing at university?
I was studying sports science and coaching.
Fantastic.
So yeah, so I was doing a programme which allowed you to study and play football. To be fair, it was really tiring. You were up at 7 AM for training, then go to uni all day, and then I was travelling to Glasgow to play for Glasgow City at that time. Back and forth, but I wouldn't have done anything else.
Amazing. Did you have like friends at uni that were obviously doing similar stuff to you? Or?
Well, actually, I left school really early, so obviously I left school at 16. I left like all my friends behind and went to this National Performance Academy, which was full of like young footballers who could potentially make it in the future. So I knew people there, but I didn't really know, there was people I didn't know at all. And obviously I went to university, so nobody from the football academy went there, so I was new to university and didn't really know anyone, so I had to make some friends and stuff there.
So the new girl at school again.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that like? Is that like quite scary?
Yeah, well, when you first go in, obviously it's daunting. You're like, oh no, like who's going to sit with me? Where I'm going to sit at lunch? That's always the worst one. Like I'm going to be by myself or things like that. But no, I went in there and to be fair, because everyone done sport and had kind of similar backgrounds, I mean different sports all over, and obviously we all wanted to be there for the same goal, to get obviously the degree in sport and stuff, so we kind of bonded over that, and over time you're just like, sod this, get this confidence, let's get some friends, and you'd go sit beside people, and from there I made loads of uni friends and everything like that.
But you have got that common thing, haven't you, with sport? You know, I just did a university visit with my daughter, and we were walking around other areas of the university, and then it was only then when me and her walked towards the sports centre, we were like, we found our people. Yeah,
especially you can see exactly how they're dressed and stuff as well. You're like, oh, sport person, let's
sport
go there.
people coming out the gym. It was like literally we're home now because we're all quite a sporty family. So actually, you know, as interesting as all the other parts of the university were, it wasn't until we walked in. So it is finding people like-minded and enjoying the same interests as you, and just, you know, that you can chat about sport, you can strike up a conversation, I suppose, about sport with people. It's like a universal language of sport, which is brilliant. Well, that's amazing. I didn't know. So how did you get selected for the development placement in the first place?
Yeah, so, well, to go back to, I need to go back to the start to tell you kind of how that happened. So, didn't really start playing football until I was 12. So really late on. I'd done curling before that. Kind of just played sport at school with the boys. Weren't really interested in football. I was too nervous to join a team, everything like that. And it was my PE teacher at the time. She was like, apply for the football schools, so the GID football schools. She was like, apply for this, go try out, see how it is. And I'm like, no, I'm not leaving, because you had to move school, and I'm not leaving my friends. I'm going to this high school after school finishes. She was like, just go for me, try it out, see how you do. So I went to these football trials, all these boys there, must have been about 4 girls. And you had to go play games, play against each other, and then after it I thought, no, I'm not getting in, that's it. I've done it anyway, so I can say I've done it.
So you didn't feel comfortable, you felt like completely out?
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, this is so out of my comfort zone, I don't know anyone here. I knew one other girl who was doing it with me, which probably helped at the time, but we were on different teams.
Was it because there was more boys than girls?
Oh,
you just felt a bit
100%.
intimidated?
All boys, and at that time they were all at pro youth teams, they were all like tall and fast and strong, and I've just kicked the ball about at school, so I thought to myself like, oh, I'm not going to get in here. So I got split off from a friend, different teams, done the trials, and then later that week I found out I got in.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my God, and they were like, oh, I see that, like, congratulations Sam, you've got in, but I see that you haven't got a team, who'd you play for? I was like, I don't play for a team.
I play for the Sam Kerr team.
Yeah, I play for myself.
Yeah.
I do curling, and they were like, oh, well, to be here, you need to play for a team. And then from there, a guy called Ian Dibden, who ran Falkirk at the time, contacted me. We really wanted.
Oh my God, I bet they did, yeah.
Yeah, and he got me involved and he got me started.
And
then when I was actually at Falkirk/Central, now they're now called Central, that's when I applied for the National Football Academy, and then they came and interviewed me and said they're really interested to have me there, and then by the age of 16 I was moved out. That's great, isn't it? Yeah. But that's amazing. Like, you know, you always think that, you know, kids have to go through the whole academy process and be playing for a high level team to be selected. But if someone can see you as a potential and development, and they can sort of guide you, I suppose, into that. So it's like, it's open to everybody. So like, you know, if there's like girls watching you and your story now, they can say, you know, it doesn't matter if they don't play for a team, it doesn't matter, as long as they've got the skill set and they put themselves out there and try. You know, they might not get it the first time, but you go back. You know, my son had a trial for like Chelsea, and they were really great about it, and they said, you know, you might not get it this year, but don't stop trying, you know, come back if that's what you really, really want to do. So it's not like, don't give up the first time. So say you hadn't got it, you know, would you think you would have gone back or been encouraged to go back, or do you think you would have gone? No, I would have still continued to play football. Yeah, exactly. Like, I started so late, and for me, football, I was like, if you enjoy it and you work hard and you've got that hunger to do better, then like anything can happen. I've had plenty of setbacks. Like when I was younger, when I got into the football academy, and I thought that was great, like first time, brilliant. Trained with all the boys and everything like that, and then never got selected for like the regional squad or like the Scotland under-15s to begin with. Yeah. And it's like, I thought at the time, like, it's the worst thing in the world, but then look at me now, I play for the national team. Yeah. The women's A squad. And that's the thing, it's maybe not right at that particular time and how the team selection is. It's like, don't give up, just keep, you know, most of the people I think who've gone on to be successful in things just haven't given up. And people just see that from like zero to hero sort of journey. They don't realise all the things that have happened along the way, all the setbacks and all the things. They keep trying, and eventually, you know, it gets there. And that's, I think that's brilliant. That is definitely a brave pants moment. Yeah, putting your brave pants on and getting out there and going and doing stuff. That's brilliant. Yeah, because one thing for me is, like, I'd always say, if I had one bit of advice for anyone, is that everyone's journey is different and everyone's timing is different. And for me, it happened later on in life for me to become professional and make it big. But then some people, when they're much younger, make it straight away. So like, everyone's journey and timing's different, and like, to not put pressure on yourself to make it so quick and so soon. Because as a kid, I always done that. I always wanted to be like Erin Cuthbert, 17, signing for Chelsea, or Kim Little signing for Arsenal. And I didn't actually. I'm 24 now, and I've signed for a massive club now, and it's just like, well, that was my timing, so don't put pressure on yourself, relax and enjoy it, and things will happen. That's great, that's brilliant, because that is the thing, isn't it? You know, if you really, really want something, just keep trying. If you love it that much and you're prepared to sort of put the work in, like you did, and just sort of push yourself through, and like you say, not put pressure on yourself. That's really important, because I think sometimes, especially kids these days, and from parents and surrounding support, you know, there's so much pressure on them to perform and make it, you know. I mean, my son's played sort of, you know, local club stuff, and you see the parents on the sideline just... They're worse than normal. Awful. Honestly, I sometimes couldn't go and watch it. It was so much pressure. And these poor little kids are getting like yelled at and sworn at and shouted at. You know, they're supposed to be the respect line, but I'm like, where is the respect line, please? Because, you know, these poor little things, because the parents are sort of almost like living their dreams through their child rather than just letting the kid play football and enjoy it, you know. I mean, so you said you were curling before. Yeah. How did you get into curling? So I've always been quite sporty as a kid. Didn't really like love any particular sport, but then my granddad obviously was a curler back in the day, and he coached at the Stirling Royal Caledonian Curling Club, and he was like, come on, I'm taking you curling. So he was trying to make me live his dream through him. Yeah, but I think, you know, it's a very important part of Scotland's sort of heritage, and Olympic, you know, medals and stuff is amazing. But it's really blooming hard. I had a go at it in a ski resort once, and they just had a curling thing, and you know, you see it on TV and you think it's really easy, you just like go like that, and someone just like brushes the thing, and you do all that stuff, and I was like, I have no idea what we're doing, but we sort of just copied what we've seen on TV, and the grip foot and the slidey foot. And that's technical terms: grip foot, slidey foot. No, I was actually really good at it, to be fair. I used to train with Eve Muirhead. She was in the older squad, and I was in the younger ones and stuff like that. So she was like someone I looked up to. And, I'd like to think if I never made it in football, I could have been a good curler, but I mean, it wasn't really for me. I just
wasn't not enough running around for you.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to run and play and
so I guess so if you, aside from curling and football, if there was another sport that you think you would excel at physically, just with how you are and what you like and your sort of skill set as a sports person, what do you reckon, or where would you think you'd go?
I'd probably say basketball or something like a team sport for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not individually good enough to be going by myself doing some like running and swimming and stuff, but no, definitely a team sport, and I'd probably say like basketball.
Okay.
I tried gymnastics as a kid.
Yeah.
My gran took me there one day. I came out being like, I'm better than this. I want to do advanced moves.
Yeah.
I want to do backflips.
Oh, goodness, you sound like
yeah,
me.
she was like, no, you need to take it step by step. I was like, no, I want to be doing cartwheels right now. And so I was like, I never went back there because I want to be doing more. Yeah.
Well, that is very familiar to me because I think when you are slightly more driven and you want to excel at something, you want to like just miss out all the boring stuff at the beginning and just go straight for the glory. I was exactly the same, just in dance and gymnastics, just when you were saying that, I was like, oh my God, I've heard that conversation myself. But I got taken to like tap dances and I wanted to dance like, Fred Astaire, like proper like stage tap dancing, not just walk around a room doing toe heel, really boring stuff. So yeah, completely get it. But I think, like you said, there is a process that you still have to go through. With football, you don't just learn skills overnight. You have to spend hours doing drills and skills to get, competent at stuff. So it's finding your thing. And I think, that's the important thing with sport, with young people especially, is just keep trying different stuff. Yeah. Because you will find the thing that you love and the thing that's really good, you're good at, and you connect with people on. And that's the thing, just keep trying different stuff. Don't just try one sport thing. Like, I'm rubbish, I can't do it. So that's really important for me anyway. So what about, like when you were saying the teams you were playing when you were, obviously you got into the development squad, but just people you were hanging around with and playing football, has anybody else made it into sort of football teams?
From Falkirk, where I grew up, obviously played with boys to begin with at the school, and then obviously played for Central. But to be fair, they've went on and had great careers. Some are over in America and stuff now, which is great. But I think I'm the only one. Some are still playing for that same team actually. But I think from that group of players, I'm the only one that's going to go to Europe and play for a big team and stuff like that.
And did they support you? Did they come and watch you and stuff? They're not like, ugh.
Oh yeah, they all support me. I still get messages from them now, and when they found out about my move recently, they were all on the phone to me, talking to me, being like, congrats Sam, like, no way.
You played with us first, it's all down to us, and all down to us, the skills you learn.
No, definitely. If they didn't play a part in it, like I wouldn't be where I was. So like, I'm grateful for them all and all their friendships and how they've kept in contact with me.
That's brilliant, that's so nice. Okay, cool. So, inspirational players yourself. So who do you look up to? Obviously, there's young players that will look up to you. Who do you look up to?
Yeah, so I think growing up with me, there wasn't very many role models growing up. Football isn't as big as it is now. It's on such a big stage. Like there's role models everywhere. Like they're so accessible now. You can turn on the TV and see like women on the TV. Yeah. But like when I was younger, I obviously came to football quite late, and growing up, I didn't really have much people to look up to. There wasn't any kind of local big players that they were like, oh, I want to be them. And it wasn't until kind of I joined Glasgow City at 16, and I was playing with the likes of like Erin Cuthbert, and went to Scotland squad and seen like Caroline Weir and Kim Little, and they were players for me that I was just like, wow, I want to be you. And Erin's like, what, 1 year older than me? So there's like, you don't have to have someone who's massively older than you to be a role model, but someone that you can see kind of traits of yourself in and kind of relate to. And
like more like a mentor, sort of older.
And then see like their hard work and how far they've came. And I actually, like thankfully I got to play with them, and I have the pleasure of playing on the pitch with them now, but like even to this day I still look up to them and everything that they've achieved. And in terms of male role models, obviously when you're growing up, I used to support Man United, so Ronaldo, massive role model for me. Could never play like him, but always wanted to be him.
And amazing, he's still playing now. I mean, that's just
crazy.
But my son obviously a massive fan of his as well, but for me, it's just maintaining and fitness and all that sort of stuff. So how do you see yourself longevity of playing? Do you have to take care? Is there anything particularly you have to really work on?
Yeah, well, you have to obviously look after your body. You can do all the training that you want, but if you don't do the recovery right, then you're not going to be able to last in terms of like eating habits, eating clean, getting plenty of sleep. Sleep's big. Sleep helps your recovery. Sleep helps you, like, your muscles get better, everything like that. And then obviously doing rehab and recovery, stretching, foam rolling, everything. Anything that you can do off the pitch to help you on the pitch is massive. And I'm pretty sure that's why he's had a massive career.
Yeah. Yeah, but also I think, like, looking at the younger players, you know, young girls who are watching, maybe, you know, when your parents are like nagging you to go to bed, you know, it's like me, I say to my children, this is when your body recovers, when you're asleep. And obviously as a child, you're like, yeah, whatever. You know, were you supported when you were younger? Obviously, once you went to the development squad, you had obviously people in charge of your schedule, or when you went to bed, or were you motivated to do that yourself?
Well, obviously when I was younger, I used to be like that as well. I'm not going to bed, Mum, I'm going to stay up. I'm going to watch TV, let me stay up. Yeah. But then it isn't until you really understand why you need it, and then you're like, right, okay, it's time to go to bed. And don't get me wrong, like, there is some times that you'll stay up late and like never feel bad about it. But yeah, until I started to learn the true professionalism in sport and how important sleep and recovery is, it's kind of, you have to have that self-drive. If you don't really have that self-drive and you need people pushing you all the time, like, you can't really push yourself individually to get to where you were. So if you have that motivation yourself to be the best that you can, and you can know, like, right, okay, I'm going to turn my phone off at 9:30 and hopefully by 10 o'clock I'm going to be asleep. Yeah. And knowing that you need like 8 hours sleep, and not to have like loads of food and stuff before bed and everything like that. So it's like educating yourself on it as well, and if you have people around you to help you. Yeah, and also people doing the same thing around you, because that's the other thing. If you've got friends that, you know, who are all just like going out and going clubbing, and you're just at home by yourself going, this is really boring. Yeah, because that was one thing for me, like all my friends back home went to parties when they were really young, and they'd have like sleepovers with their friends, and I was like, oh no, sorry, I can't come. And you feel like it's the end of the world. You feel like you're missing out on so much fun and missing out on so much time with your friends. But looking back on it now, like, you don't really miss it. Like, you're thankful for it. Like, you spent that Friday night in just relaxing and watching TV and going to bed and going to football on the Saturday. Yeah. And like everything that you do, and it seems like the worst back then, is like so beneficial for you in the future. Yeah, so like small sacrifices, which seemed like massive at the time, actually pay off, you know, like you say, pay off at the time. Obviously when you're like 16, 17, you feel like you say, just like you're missing out on absolutely everything. And I did the same, you know, same thing. I was teaching or working or competing, and you'd have to go to bed earlier or sleep better, and everybody's out partying. But actually there comes a time when that is, you know, it helps hugely. But at the time, so it is, you still want to have a childhood, you still want to have fun, you still want to have time, but there's obviously time. I said, my kids hate me, it's like a time and a place. You know, there's a time and a place. And that's true. It's such a really annoying parent thing to say, but it's like time and a place. There's a time and a place to like go crazy and have the fun, and there's a time and a place to sleep and do your schoolwork and do all the other stuff as well. Really boring, I know, but as a parent and as a mum and an adult looking back, actually, it's easier. But so even you, obviously you're a bit younger, to sort of see that is really important for like young kids to say, you still have fun, you still have go out and have fun. And for sure. But if you've got an important match or important training session, this is the professional way to be. Definitely. And season's majorly important for me, like meals, sleep, like trying not to do too much socialising to late hours and everything like that. But then when you have your time off at Christmas and you have your time off at summer, like enjoy it, spend time with your friends, like go out, go have fun, like go do things you wouldn't normally do in that time, and you find that enjoyment having that period of time where you could do that. Yeah, I mean, look at Jack Grealish when they won. Yeah, exactly. He definitely celebrated. Yeah, he definitely did. Brilliant. Well, thanks. Literally, any other sort of brave pants moments that you can recall in your early years? Because obviously today we're here to talk about your brave pants moments amongst, you know, learning about you in your early years. But we've talked about confidence and being able to like walk into like a group of boys and just say, can I play football with you? I mean, that is, and going to like the tryout with a bunch of boys, that's probably at the time you didn't realise, but that they are definitely, for me, listening to you, they're proper like brave pants moments where you'd have to put on your imaginary brave pants and go, I'm going to go. And your PE teacher, who obviously inspired you to go, I mean, that's a pretty cool thing for them to encourage you to go and spot your talent that early and have the confidence in you and try and encourage you to go and do stuff. Yeah, definitely. She really helped me with my confidence. Like, as a kid, I probably wouldn't have been the most confident anyway. I always felt like I needed that little push and felt too nervous to do things, meet new friends, go to new teams, like do new sports. And to find someone who I could really put my trust in, and for her to be like, you're good enough, come on, go do it. And for me to go there was a massive, brave moment for me. And even like all my friends went to Falkirk High, and I went to Graham High, and I didn't know anyone. I remember the induction day, when you go up before you start high school, and I remember just sitting there thinking, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm sitting here on the grass with all these people, not really speaking to anyone, eating my lunch alone. I'm like, oh, I don't think I can do this. Like, I can't move school. Like, I have no friends here. And obviously, my mum's like, you're going. No chance, you're not going. And obviously started a new school. Like, the first week, didn't really know anyone, didn't really have much friends. Kind of knew mutual friends here and there. And then, honestly, by the second week, I made my own small group of friends. And then I'm still friends to them to this day, and we still keep in contact. And it was just being brave enough to actually step foot into a new environment, especially like a high school, for example. Like, you think there's nothing worse.
It's brutal. I think teenagers as well it can be really brutal. But also to think, you know, it's such a short, you know, period of time. You know, you've literally got like that first week, so you can overcome that really short period of time.
Honestly, the first week feels the worst.
Must feel like a year. Do you know what I mean? That first week.
And that's the same with like anything you do. Like growing up, like I joined Glasgow City at 16 and left and went to Glasgow, and I didn't know anyone at this point. And I remember phoning the coach being like, okay, maybe for the first week you can put me with the development squad so I can warm up and get into the swing of things and get some confidence, and then I'll join you at the first team the next week. He was like, yeah, sure. First day I got there, you're coming with us. And you feel like, oh my God, you're so out your depth. Yeah,
and you don't feel you're worthy enough to be there almost.
Yeah, because you're surrounded by all these people who are like great, like champions of Scotland and everything like that. And for me, just like actually going there and then see after the first training session, you're like, that wasn't that bad. Yeah. See after you just go do it, you're like, that's fine, it's not that bad. You just need to just take that leap of faith and step out your comfort zone, and then when you look back on it, you're like, what was I all worried about?
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen? Like someone doesn't speak to you, so what? You know, you move on. I had the same thing when I did Gladiators. I was joining once the show was already established. So again, I'd seen these people on TV, and I turned up at the hotel, and the first morning we were going to go to the arena to train and do all the stuff, and there's all these people that I'd seen on TV, but like you, probably seeing all these like iconic players in the same room. And I just felt, you know, it's like that imposter syndrome. You think, oh my God, I'm literally not meant to be here. And obviously I was taking the place of someone else's position as well, so there was no one would talk to me, no one would like help me with any of the games. So one of them, Panther, she was really nice to me and sort of took me under her wing a bit. So you just need that one person to sort of step up, and you feel part of the team then. And then once you're in and like you say, you establish, you think, oh my God, it's fine. But every sort of in their own zone and on their own training, it's not the same as playing for a team. You know, we're all individuals, but obviously we're against the contenders, but we're individuals against the contenders. So I completely understand what you say. It's almost like being the new girl at school, literally going that first day and just thinking, nobody's going to talk to me, I don't know what to do, I don't know who to speak to, you know, really don't. And I was, you know, same age as you are now, so it was just, I completely get it. Well, thank you, Sam. That's the early years of Sam Kerr, and if you loved it, please tell everybody about it. Thanks, Sam.
Thanks.
This series is kindly sponsored by Joinery Limited, which provides commercial and subcontracting joinery based in Falkirk, Scotland. They pride themselves on their high standards of craftsmanship and customer service. Their professional work ethic makes them the perfect match for our guests.